Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. I have not said that in quite a while, since the 1st of September, and we are in the new year 2024, and we're back to our Tuesday classes. So I'm so happy to see you on board with me in real time or maybe later on YouTube. So let's start with some Tai Chi this morning, just to kind of center, to pull us in, to see how our body's feeling today, to work on our stability and our balance. So taking the feet maybe just right underneath the hips, roll your shoulders up and back, and then find that really good posture. Engage your core. Tilt your pelvis a little bit so it's really neutral. Make sure you don't have a big arch in your back. And then I just want you to take that imaginary ball right in front of your body. We'll start to make a slow circle moving to the right and up and around. Now you can start nice and small. Maybe you're not moving your spine at first, maybe just your arms. And just let your breathing happen. I'm not going to cue you when to breathe in or when to breathe out. Just want you to do that on your own with your body. Your body knows when is the best time to breathe in and to breathe out, that autonomic nervous system. And then we can start to make this bigger by, as you go, maybe opening up the side waist and bringing it up over the head with maybe a little bit of a gentle back bend. You can look at your hands, so maybe gazing up. If that makes you feel dizzy, keep your gaze straight ahead. Just let the rest of the body move. And then I want to start to add this lower body just a little bit and the spine into flexion. So as we come up, maybe a baby back bend, and as you come around, start to bend your knees a little bit and maybe bring your body forward. And bending the knees is important, so we're not stressing the lower back here. And this should feel fantastic, warming up the shoulders a little bit. And just diagnosing how the body feels today. And one more time, we'll come all the way around this way. And then bring that ball right to the center. We'll open and close. So we'll inhale, expand the rib cage. Exhale, pull that breath back out of the lungs. You can bring those arms out as far as you'd like. And while we do this particular Tai Chi warm-up, I'm going to add some movement of the head. So as your arms expand, look over your right shoulder. Contract to look center. Inhale to look over the left shoulder. Exhale. We'll just do this one more time on each side. Nice range of motion through that cervical spine. And then we're back to where we began to start our circle now, moving to the left, and we can just make it small to begin with. This is almost like one of those spirals. I remember when I was a kid, we had something called the spirograph. You stuck your pen inside the little hole, and then it started making this perfect spiral, getting bigger and bigger. So we can start to add more range of motion with rotation, as well as elevating the arms up. You can start to add the spine to side bend a little bit. And I want you to take a pause to notice your feet into the mat. And make sure you're pressing into the center of your heel, and then the ball mound of your big toe and your little toe. And then you can add a little bit more back bend, and this time maybe soften the knees as you come around and hinge forward from the hips. And when you hinge forward, that's a really good opportunity to take a little gaze at your knees and make sure they don't do this. We don't want to do a knock knee. And sweep it around. Can you look up at the fingers? Is that okay for your balance? Let's come around one more time, all the way. And then come right back into the center. We'll open and close and look to the right as you open. Inhale. Close and exhale. And left. One more each direction. Tighten your abs as you exhale. Brace right here in the center of your core. All right, bring the right hand on top so you're in that right ball position, and just step your left foot forward on a little bit of a diagonal. It's turned out, and bend your knee, and then as you bring it back, pull your toes up. Now you can make this stance as big as you want. Mine's pretty small right here, but you can make this a bigger step so that your feet are a little bit more pulled apart from one another. And then we're just going to take this into brush the peacock's tail, grasp the peacock's tail. So we'll bring this down and then our push hands across. Now I'm going to try to start bending my left knee, that back knee a little bit. Started having a little bit of pain behind my kneecap. So you can bend this back knee as much as you want. I'm just kind of making it small for me today. And then maybe follow your fingertips with your eyes down and across. Let's get 3 more on this side. So what we're doing now in our lower body is working on a little bit of flexion of the knee on that right knee and pulling up the toes so we have dorsiflexion on the left. Last one. And then just come back to the midline any way you want to switch feet. Stepping in, we have the left ball position. We'll step out with the right heel and just start to bend and pull the toes back. And then we drift this down. Intersect the wrists. They can be touching, or you can keep a little energy space between the wrists. And just take this at whatever meditative pace works for you, works for your breathing, works for wherever you want to bring your energy expenditure. Let's get 3 more on this side. It feels so great to be back to doing some Tai Chi. 1 more. And then let's just step back in to center. Take a nice big inhale, reach up. Exhale any stress you have in your life, and we'll inhale 1 more time for positive for our new year ahead, 2024. Exhale the old 2023 and relax. Very good. All right, we are going to start with our first isometric exercise for the lower body, and this is our calf raises. So if you need a little chair for balance, I know I am going to. You can use that. Now, with these exercises, I want, as usual, to give you guys carte blanche to add anything else in. If you want to add some arm movements, hand weights there, great. Anything you want to do here. But I'm just going to focus right now on the calves. So let's come to our parallel position. Really good tall spine. And let's find your range of motion up on the tiptoes and down to drop the heels. It's also nice to do this if you have a little stair step or you want to stand on a yoga block so you can actually go down lower when your heels drop. So this type of exercise, when we're moving, we have the concentric contraction is when we're coming up and the muscle is tightening. We have the eccentric contraction when we're coming down, when the muscle is lengthening. Or if we hold it still, it's called an isometric contraction. So let's come up to the top and hold this. We're going to stay here for 30 seconds. Now, that's just a goal. So if your muscles are cramping, it's too much, you want to come down and up, take a break, that's great. We're going to hold here for 30. So the goal in the study was to keep these exercises for 2 solid minutes. Today, we're going to go 30 seconds and then go back into our moving exercise, and then we'll hold it for another 30 seconds. Okay, so that's 30. Let's come down and up. Now, during this part, if you need a break instead of going back to movement, then I'm going to leave that up to you. So you can go 30 seconds isometric and then take a break, or 30 seconds isometric and then back to our concentric and eccentric work. I've got my little timer in front of me. Let's do 2 more of these and hold this one up. Good. So we're up as high as we can get. You're nice and even on the ball of the foot. So make sure your ankles aren't rolling out. Look at your posture, draw your shoulders back, and you're only using your chair or your wall for what you need today for balance. And we have 10 seconds. Good job, good job. 3, 2, and 1. Back to moving, or you can take a break. So last 30 seconds here, down and up. And you're setting your own pace. So it's okay if you're a little slower, a little faster than what I'm going. Nice job. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Okay, the wall sit today we're going to do without being up against the wall. We're actually going to do it from your chair. If you don't have a chair close by, you don't need it unless you need to sit down and take a break. So I'm going to give you those options. So I want you to come to your chair. Sit with your feet about hips distance apart. You can use hand weights if you want for anything else you want to add to this. Bring the hands toward the heart, shift yourself forward and lift an inch off the chair. From here, we'll come up and then down about an inch from the chair. Now an inch, that's just a goal. You can be 5 inches from the chair. I want you to do whatever feels best for your legs, your muscles, your lower back. So we're coming up and down for 30 seconds. Then we're going into our isometric work. Good job. Nice parallel position of the legs. Make sure the knees aren't dropping in. 1 more. Now sink down about an inch or so from your chair. We're holding 30 seconds. So this is simulating our wall sit. So the muscles are contracting, but they're not changing length. And that is the identifier or the definition of what an isometric exercise is. Again, if you have hand weights, you want to be doing something here. Fantastic. Add what you need. Last 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds up and down, or 30 seconds resting in your chair. So that's fine if you just want to come down, have a seat, take a break for those 30, or maybe just a few seconds and then come back in with me. We have 10 seconds, then we're holding that squat for 30. 3, 2, 1, down, and we hold. So we are going to be building up these holds over the process of this month of January so that we are holding without taking a break for a minimum of 2 minutes. So kind of give yourself a little thought process and say, could I do that now? Maybe you want to hold more, and that's okay. You can pause the video. 3, 2, and 1, up and down, or sit in your chair. Last 30 seconds on these. Good job. Hope you're doing okay, Joyce. Joyce is with us today after having her meniscus surgery. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Great. Okay, let's move into upper body. And again, if you want to add anything in lower body along with these exercises, you can. So I want you to pick a weight that you can do a bicep curl. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, I'm going to try my 10s, but I know this is going to be a challenge. If you have a couple of different sizes, you can do that as well. So we are going to do the same process. Nice and tall through the spine. You can do hammer curls or rotating curls. And let's go up and down for 30 seconds. Now, if you start to really get fatigued while you're doing these, you can alternate single reps. And that's great here. Good. Looking for good posture. If you want to add some balance. Ooh, look at me standing on my left leg. Well, I couldn't do that a month ago. Good. 2 more, then we're holding this isometrically. Bring it up about halfway, 90 degrees, stay. 30 seconds. There's no movement in the muscle, no change in the length of the muscle. Now, what can be sometimes hard here is to keep breathing because we're holding something in our body, so our breath sometimes wants to hold as well. So just keep it moving. 10 seconds, then we're going either to a rest or we're going back to continuous movement. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. 30 seconds. 2 options. Taking a break or moving. Nice job. Now, it's interesting to me. I'm going to have to kind of rethink the way that I was trained. I was always trained not to squeeze the weights because it would cause your blood pressure to go up. I'm rethinking that now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, isometric, halfway up hold. Because one of the exercises that helps with blood pressure is, what's it called? It's the grip squeeze. So you would either squeeze one of those little balls or you'd squeeze one of those little gripper things that make your grip stronger. I can't talk now. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, either rest or continuous movement lasts 30 seconds. So now I'm thinking, either maybe the research was wrong when I learned that years ago, or, they just found out over time that actually it helps to reduce your blood pressure by squeezing your hands, not increase your blood pressure. All right, one more time. Bring it up and down. All right, let's let go of those weights for just a second. Bring your arms out, pull back with your thumbs up. Give your biceps a little stretch, and then flip your thumbs down and push back. Great. Okay, when it comes to shoulders, I want to give you two options, as I always do if you have shoulder problems. So the next exercise is either going to be the upright row, which will be right in here, or you can go into about a half overhead press. So I want you to pick the weight and the exercise that is going to work best for you. I think I'm going to need to go down just a little touch because this girl has not been doing that much strength training. Yeah, I'm going to go down to my fives. Okay. So you're either picking the upright row in here or overhead press. Get yourself ready. Drop your shoulder blades down. Make sure you're not hunching up. We have 30 seconds in movement. So let's begin. And you don't have to go clear above the head, although you can. You can go all the way up and down if that's okay, or just keep it in a nice mid-range. You can work on some balance here. You can add squats in, whatever you want to do here through this movement. We have 10 seconds, and then we're holding for 30 isometric. 3, 2, and 1. Now hold about that mid-range point. It looks like this for overhead press. It looks like this for upright row. You pick. And we're holding 30 seconds. Now the reason I'm having you hold at mid-range for the overhead press is if you're up here, you're really not working the muscles too well when you're kind of locked out with arms straight. Okay, we have 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, either movement or resting. So if you're really feeling that challenge in the shoulders, you can take a break here. Or you can switch from overhead presses to upright rows. Nice job. 10 seconds, then we have another 30-second isometric. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Find a place to hold and breathe. Try not to shrug those shoulders up, so keep the lats engaged. Drop them down. Pull your abs in. Keep your breathing going. Good job. Ooh, I'm feeling it. 10 seconds, and then we have either movement or rest to finish out these shoulder exercises. 3, 2, 1. All right, this is the challenge to go back into movement one more time. Excellent, excellent. 20 seconds. I feel those muscles shaking. They're really working. Good job. 10 seconds to finish this exercise. Almost there. Last 3, 2, 1, and release it down. Great. Okay, we're moving into the triceps, and you need a fairly light weight for this one. I'm going to go down to my 3s. And then we're going to do a bent over row position. Down here, arms are straight, and then we'll press back and about halfway down. 30 seconds moving. So what we really want to make sure that we don't do with this one is to let the arms come forward and give yourself a swing. So we're not coming all the way down, so we keep some energy into that muscle and not using momentum. This can be done even without weights, and you will feel it. 3, 2, 1, hold it up. 30 seconds is our goal, holding, feeling the triceps in the back of the shoulder. Now I have my knees bent, so I'm in a little bit of a squat with a slight hinge forward. Abs are pulled in. Nice job. It's okay to take the breaks if you don't want to do the active movement. We have 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Either take a break or go back to the movement. In a strange way, the movement is almost like a break. Coming down and up, it's a little bit easier. Good job doing what you can. Excellent. 5 seconds. Then we have an isometric hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Now, the height at which you lift it might depend on the flexibility of the shoulders. So it's okay if you're down a little lower. As long as you have the muscle working, you're good. 15 seconds. Beautiful, beautiful. Coming up to 5, 4, 3, 2. Back to movement or resting completely. 30 seconds. Try to even pause at the top, just a little hesitation. Ooh, I'm feeling these. Looking good. 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Good. Let's set those weights down. We'll give our shoulders a little bit of a stretch here. Right arm comes across. Just lengthen that muscle out. And then bring that same arm up. Give yourself a little tricep stretch. Bring it down. Left arm across. A couple deep breaths. And then your tricep stretch. Our next exercise we're going to be working on is a plank. So you have the option of standing up and doing your plank against a wall if you'd like. So you can just step forward, get your hands on the wall, walk your feet back, and do your plank from up on a wall. You can also do your plank with your hands on the chair. Or if you want to go ahead and come down onto your mat, take your time to do that, and you can do your plank from your knees or your toes. So, what I'm going to give you for your option of either resting or doing some movement is a small push-up. So let's see, I'm going to try down on the ground from my knees and even see if my left knee can take a little bit of pressure. So you're on the wall, you're on the chair, you're on your mat, knees or toes. So for our first 30 seconds, we're going to do whatever range of push-up you would like. So we can bend the elbows, down and press up. Now the nice part about this is it gives you still some work in your core because you're doing a plank here, right? So the abs are going to get a longer isometric contraction. We have 10 seconds and then we'll hold our plank. Now you can also hold the push-up if you want. 3, 2, and 1. So either stay here in your plank, stay here in a partial push-up, and breathe. So our goal is to hold this for 30 and then to move back into your push-ups, or you can press back into child's pose or take a complete recovery for 30 seconds. 10 seconds to go. This is a challenge. 5, 4, 3, 2, back to movement, or take a rest in child's pose, or if you're up against the wall, you can take a rest there, just dropping your hands down by your side. And we've got 15 seconds more and then one more isometric hold in your plank. Now, if your wrists are bothering you, you can come down to your elbows for the plank. In 3, 2, and 1, hold your plank. 30 seconds. Maybe you're up on your toes here. Then you'll have the opportunity for one more rest or one more set of push-ups in 15 seconds. You use that time for whatever you'd like to. Getting ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either movement or complete resting. 30 seconds to go. Looking good. 15 seconds. Scoop those abs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and recover. Great job. Okay, if you are up against the wall or the chair, go ahead and come down with me to the floor and let's come onto our backs. We have hip bridges. So this is going to be isometric work for the glutes, a little bit for the core as well. You can add some external workload by placing some weights across your hips if you'd like. You can place your feet up on a chair if you like to do your hip bridges that way. All right, I'll give you a couple more seconds to get down with me. So feet are about hips distance apart. Bend your knees as much as you'd need to, hips towards your glutes, and let's press up and down into our bridge for 30 seconds. And maybe not completely touching the floor with your hips so that you have some work in the muscle the entire time. Notice the muscles you're working here, so really squeeze the glutes when you get to the top. Tighten the hamstrings, back of the legs, keep your core engaged here. Shoulders are relaxed. Now let's hold it up for 30 seconds, isometric hip bridge. So our goal is to try to keep those hips up and not to let them start to drop during that 30 seconds. So keep that consistent bend in your knees and the hips lifting. Then your options are the same. You can keep moving your hip bridges or you can completely rest. Ready? And begin. Down and up. So the range of motion in this hip bridge is all up to you. It can be small, or you can really lift those hips. Exhaling to come up, inhaling to drop. 3, 2, 1. Hold your hip bridge up. 30 seconds. And then kind of think in your mind, I wonder if I could do this active hip bridge for 2 minutes. Because you'll probably see that on the last Tuesday of the month. And I think, if I'm right, we have 5 Tuesdays in the month of January, so we'll get an extra week to work. Okay, either resting or rising and falling, last 30 seconds. Or a third option is you could hold your isometric bridge for another 30 seconds. That would be great as well. Getting yourself trained for those 2-minute holds. See what we got. We got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Now you might need a little stretch here, so let's just hug the knees right into the chest. Maybe rock them a little bit side to side and relax those muscles. Okay, so our abdominal crunches. Feet can be on the floor. Feet can be in tabletop. Feet can be up on a chair. So I want you to find this place here that works best for your lower back. Fingertips can support the back of the head without pulling the neck. We have rising and falling with our crunches. Now you can make any modifications for these. I'm just going to do a basic crunch. So we're coming up and down. We're tightening, releasing, shortening, lengthening. Good job. I'll look at my clock there, 10 seconds. Three, two, one. Hold it up. 30 seconds. Good job. Try to relax your neck. You don't have to reach forward like I am, but I'm actually using my leverage to help me come up a little more. 10 seconds. Three, two, one. Either rising and falling or taking a break completely. Good job. I know a common issue with this is your neck, so try to relax your head into your fingertips. Or you can do a little trick by holding a hand towel and relaxing your head into the hand towel. 3, 2, 1. Come up, hold. 30 seconds isometric. Now maybe you take the legs out a little bit, whatever you want here to make this your challenge. Good job, everybody. 10 seconds. Then you can take a break or rise and fall. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Last time in movement. Excellent. You can go elbow to knee. You can add any rotation if you want. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. And relax down. Hug those knees back into your chest. Take a break. We are going to come into a side lying position for 2 different exercises. They are a rotator cuff exercise and an outer thigh and hip exercise. So let's come over onto our side. Gather up the weight that's going to work best for you for your rotator cuff. I think this is a 2. That's all I'm going to use today. Well, you know what? Take that back. I'm going to try the 5, but I have a feeling that it's going to be too much. So I'm going to have a 5 and a 3 ready. Good. All right. So we can be up on the elbow here. We can come all the way down to the side. You can put a little hand towel underneath your elbow if you want here. And then let's grab our weight with our elbow at about a 90-degree bend. And we are going to rise and lower for 30 seconds. So I want you to move this through your own range of motion. If you can only come up this high, that's okay. It's all dependent on the mobility of your rotator cuff. You want to make sure that when you come up, your elbow doesn't lift away from your side, because then you're going to be just using your deltoid. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up just slightly. 30 seconds isometric. Oh boy, I think this is where I'm going to need to go down in weight. So you keep holding for 15 seconds. I'm going to make a switch. Good. Five seconds, then you can either go back to movement or completely take a break. Here we go. Down and up. Maybe you just set the weight down completely and do this for range of motion. It's great. There's always an option, right? To make these our own exercise, make them doable. 10 seconds, then one more isometric hold. 3, 2, 1, holding. Job. Check to make sure your wrist is straight, so we don't want to drop it down. Keep it nice and flat there. Keep the breath moving. 15 seconds. Good job. We have one more opportunity for movement or completely take a break in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Oh boy. Glad I went down to that 2. This is about all I can muster. Good job, everybody. You have 15 seconds left on this rotator cuff. Just a couple more reps. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Great. Just relax that arm. Take the top leg, extend it out. And we've got hip abduction, rising and lowering. 30 seconds of work. If you want a little bit more work, you can take that weight and just set it right on the outside of your hip. And our leg is parallel. So if you're wearing pants that have a seam, you want that seam of the pants to face the ceiling. So in other words, we don't want to roll back and lift our leg up this way. Then we're just getting the hip flexor. 10 seconds, then we're holding isometrically. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up at any height and squeeze this muscle tightly. Now, if while you're holding this, you want to go back into some more rotator cuff, you can. You've got those weights there, so it's always okay to add some options with these. Maybe by the end of the month, we'll do both of these exercises together. But today, I want you to focus on what's happening here. 3, 2, 1, either rest or lower and lift. If your neck is bothering you, you can relax your head all the way down. These are always a challenge, and it's just body weight, unless you're adding that extra weight on the outside of the thigh. 3, 2, 1, up and hold. Good. Now reach out into that heel. Activate all of these muscles around your thigh, outer thigh and hip. Keep breathing. Make sure your hips are stacked and you're not rolling forward or back. 10 seconds, then you can rest completely, or one more 30-second movement here. In 3, 2, and 1, either down and up or rest completely. Or if you down and up for maybe just 10 seconds, this is your time in this 30 seconds to manage the way that you would like, or that your body can. 15 seconds. Nicely done. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1, and come on down. Okay, let's stretch this hip. So what I'm going to do is bring my knee slightly forward, and then you can roll your top shoulder back and come into a little bit of a twist. Or pound out the muscle. Okay, now that you know what we're doing, we're going to reverse and do those 2 exercise groupings on the other side. Take your time to press up. Now this is a different arm, so if you need to adjust your strength, your workload on this side, make sure that you're doing what you can with good form. Okay, so we are either up here or down. Get yourself nice and comfortable, stack the hips, and let's find your weight for rotator cuff. About a 90-degree bend in the elbow, keep it close to the waist, and we begin. Up and down. I want you to think about controlling this coming down, because it's very easy just to let gravity assist and kind of relax the muscle and just let it kind of drop. So keep some tension both directions. Great. 3, 2, 1. Find a place to hold. Isometric 30 seconds. Wow, this is a challenge at 5. So while you're still holding, I'm going to switch out my weight. And that's okay. And 3, 2, 1. Either movement or completely resting. Good job. So important to keep the rotator cuff strong, to keep our mobility here. Check to make sure you're breathing. 3, 2, 1. Isometric. 30 seconds. I don't know if I can imagine doing this right now for 2 minutes. This will be an exercise for me that will be very challenging, but we'll see if we can build ourselves up to it by the end of the month. 10 seconds and either more movement or a rest. 3, 2, 1, and go. Last 30 seconds with rotator cuff. Maybe your range of motion is getting smaller. That's okay. Bring it up the amount you can. Try not to rotate your body back in order to get your arm a little higher. Last 10 seconds. Looking good, looking good. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Okay, it's time to straighten out this leg. Extend it. We can add some extra workload here or just body weight. And we'll rise and fall. 30 seconds. The amount that you lift is going to be primarily dependent on your hip flexibility. And my hips are usually pretty tight, so my leg doesn't come up maybe as high as my brain thinks I can. That's okay. Little pause at the top. And 3, 2, hold it up. Tense these muscles. It's almost like I think of Popeye. You know, Popeye made that muscle. We can hold our arm like that, or we can hold it like that. So same thing with your leg. You can lift it up, or you can lift it up. And that's what I want you to feel. All these muscles really active. And 3, 2, 1. Down and up, or resting. Good job. Now try not to tense anything else other than these muscles that you're working. Relax your shoulder, relax your jaw and your neck so that you're not clenching, gripping. 3, 2, holding, tighten, tighten. Try to flex your foot, pull your toes up towards your kneecap, straighten your legs strong. Activate that hip muscle. Core is super tight. 15 seconds. And then one more option for movement or a break. Good job. 3, 2, and 1. Resting or rolling. Last 30 seconds on this exercise. Good job. We are almost there. Five, 4, 3, 2, And 1, lower it down. Bend that knee, bring it across a little bit, and then roll that top shoulder back. Give yourself a little twist. Now, this next exercise might be difficult to do sitting on the floor. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to get back up and sit in your chair if you want to for this next exercise. It's going to be our last isometric. It's going to involve our quadriceps. And this is actually one of the physical therapy exercises that we do after a knee surgery. So it's really nice to do to keep the quads engaged. So either you're in your chair or you're going to press yourself up to seated. If you're sitting, you're going to be leaning back a little bit because this is really hard to do sitting straight up. It's almost impossible. So if you're sitting on the floor, you can lean back a little bit onto your wrists or even onto your elbows. If you're in the chair, then you're going to just sit normally and extend your right leg straight. Your left knee can be bent or it can be straightened as well. And we are going to lift this leg up and down, and I want you to keep your leg as straight as you can while you're lifting it. So you're really tightening your quadricep. We've got 30 seconds of movement. You might have to lean back if you're sitting in the chair also to be able to give yourself some good range of motion. 3, 2, and hold this. Now, if you're here on your elbows, make sure you're not slumping down. So I want you to keep nice and lifted. Tighten this thigh muscle. Pull your toes toward you. Keep that muscle really engaged. 10 seconds. Nice job, nice job. Okay, either back to movement or completely take a break. Looking good. Excellent, excellent. We've got one more isometric on this side. You should be feeling that quad almost really burning now. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up. Keep it steady. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Nice job, nice job. Ooh, you should be feeling that hip flexor a little bit too. So if it's too much, lower it down a little bit. Now, instead of movement for our last 30 seconds, we're going to stretch. In 3, 2, 1. Lower your leg down, and then we'll stretch toward the leg. So if you're sitting in the chair, you can just fold over and lengthen out. As we're starting to run a little short on time, so I want to be able to maximize getting a little bit of flexibility here. Okay, get ready to switch legs. So come into your position, left leg extended, and we'll lift and lower. This exercise is still kind of challenging for me on my surgical leg because after knee replacement and after the tourniquet and all that, sometimes the quad really shuts off. So retraining to do this has been a big challenge for me. Get ready to hold in 3, 2, 1. Keep it steady. At any height. Breath is moving. 15 seconds. You can do this laying on your back also. And 3, 2, 1. Movement down and up. Good job, everybody. There's so many exercises that we can do this technique with, and it's just really going to be fun to explore these this month. If you have suggestions for me, I'd love to hear from you on that. 3, 2, and hold, isometric. This is our last isometric hold of class. Then we've got a stretch coming up in 15 seconds. Ooh, I feel that muscle shaking. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower it down. Give yourself a stretch, either from the chair or from the floor. Just stretch over that leg.